That's Pedro's. That's his inspiration.
Kate Upton is his inspiration while he works? I like that, hey.
He looks and he gawks. Hey, Pedro, I say your inspiration.
I gotta buy another one for this here.
Yeah, you got a new one.
Nice chiquito, huh?
Nice chiquito over here, and then you got Papa Francisco over here.
Yeah, thank you.
He is funny.
Hey, a little extra inspiration never hurts, right? I've never been to Chicago, but I've heard about the pizza. I'm from Brooklyn, so this style is clearly different from what I grew up with. But I'm open to trying anything. I thought Chicago was a one-note pizza city. It was deep dish or bust. But I quickly learned the opposite. This city's pizza game is on point. If you want a crash course in Chicago history and deep dish pizza, you gotta go see Tim Samuelson.
It's a great pizza culture, that's for sure. And as you can see, I've done a lot of research.
I have too.
All right, enough talking about
Enough
this.
talking.
Let's eat it.
And here it is, the original Pizzeria Uno.
The real thing came out of the same place where it was invented in 1943. Pizza lesson. You can see the taper of the crust. The crust is at the bottom, but you see that line right there?
Oh yeah.
That's solid mozzarella. And then piled on top of that, sausage, and then you have the tomato sauce on top. It's built upside down.
It's beautiful. Even though there's a lot going on, the ratios are good. You still taste the sausage, you taste the cheese, you taste the crust. It tastes like a pretty basic tomato sauce, not too much added to it. It's just solid. And I guess that kind of goes with the whole theme, right?
It's just kind of basic, no nonsense, but there's still an art how you put it together.
In Brooklyn and Long Island, where I grew up, pizza was a very big thing. And there was always this competition between New York and Chicago as far as the pizza thing goes, which, you know, they're very different styles. What does this pizza mean to the city?
It's actually become one of the great symbols of the city. So when you mention Chicago, it's something that people think of. And there is kind of an interesting, almost a Midwest aspect, kind of the hearty meal Midwest.
Totally. And 5 months out of the year, it's a cold city, you know, so you need something that's gonna fill you up, something that's gonna keep you warm.
I mean, this pizza couldn't have been invented in California.
Bingo.
And it is different. I grew up in Chicago. I've been here all my life. There always was an energy about it. Chicago was a city where almost everybody came from somewhere else. Chicago was a city that kind of grew out of nothing. So there was no set traditions on how you should do anything. And so that gives the idea that you could improvise this kind of food, and not only in creating it, but you'll also find people who won't have any baggage about trying something new. So it's a real Chicago story. Because if you're going to tell the story of Chicago pizza, the king creator is Rick Ricardo. And Rick Ricardo in 1943 opens a bar there and tries to figure out an interesting thing for kind of bar food to go along with the drinks. The Pizzeria Uno is the descendant of that original pizzeria. If there is the crown prince royalty of pizza, that's the Malnatis. So I mean, pizza's in the Malnatis' blood.
Lou Malnati worked under his father, Rudy, in the early days of Pizzeria Uno. He grew up in the pizzeria and eventually went on to open his own place, Lou Malnati's in Lincolnwood. Now, with over 40 locations, it's hard not to run into a Lou Malnati's. Despite its growth, Malnati's is still family-owned and operated by Lou's son, Mark.
So we're going to talk about pizza for a little while, and then we're going to make some.
If you're up for it, then I'm up for it. Well, I'm from New York, and this is my first time in Chicago.
So you need directions.
What is the Chicago deep dish pizza all about?
Well, the Chicago deep dish pizza is different than New York pizza or other pizza because Chicago, it's a different kind of town. This is a town where you want a whole meal on a plate, and that's what deep dish pizza is all about. You don't want me to say anything about how bad New York pizza is?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about New York pizza, but if you start to saying that it's bad, then I'm gonna come at you with some stuff too. So I hope you got some thick skin.
You know, this dough it doesn't want to be abused. It doesn't want to be, fondled too much because it's going to come out light and flaky. And so now we're just going to take it and we're just going to kind of work it. I want you to work it all the way to the sides.
When did you get into the business?
I started at 15, but full-time, I went right out of college, 22.
So you're a pizza lifer. This has been your only job?
It is. I'm unemployable.
Yeah.
So. And now, just kind of use your fingers and pull it up, but don't break it. Only rookies put holes in it.
We're not gonna make any rookie mistakes today.
Right.
It's on amateur night.
This is Wisconsin mozzarella.
Okay.
Now, why do you imagine that I use the cheese as a base?
Because the cheese is gonna act as a sealant on the bottom here. So all the sausage fat doesn't sort of seep through and make the crust on the bottom soggy.
I think that's true, and the other reason is it's gonna be a hell of a lot easier for us to apply the sausage to the pizza with a flat, sturdy base of cheese.
Right. What were the early days like here?
Opening day was 1971 in Lincolnwood, Illinois. I was 15, and I had invited a bunch of my friends to come over and just kind of help in case we got busy. Well, before the doors opened, there were people lined up down the sidewalk, around the corner. It was like Disney World was opening.
Wow.
And it stayed like that for months. You see the size of these tomatoes?
Very plump. And are they broken by hand at all, or just kind of?
We're gonna break them a little bit. How good is that?
They're really delicious.
Huh? You taste the sugar
Yep.
just popping out of them?
I do.
We're gonna give it a nice little coating. We're going in, ready?
We're going in, baby. Let's do it.
Here we go. And we'll check back in about 25 minutes. Pull that out. All right, look at that.
That looks great.
Yeah. A little bit of stretch.
Bellissimo.
Is this too much to ask from a New Yorker to eat it with a knife and fork?
You know what? I'm Sicilian, so I come from a place where we cook pizza in pans, and we do sauce on the top. This isn't so far from my universe,
Beautiful.
So I really do.
So we can agree.
We can agree.
This is beautiful.
We can agree. Instead of brawling, we're hugging at the end.
All right,
That's a
this
good
is
thing.
Well, pizza toast.
Salud.
Salute.
Chicago and deep dish go hand in hand, but there's another style that's just as popular amongst the locals.
Chicago is a thin crust town, and if you asked any old-timer, regular that came in here, what kind of pizza is Chicago, they'd be thin crust.
Steve Dolinsky, aka the Hungry Hound, is a Chicago food personality who just ranked 76 pizzerias.
It was the bane of my existence for over a summer, pretty much. So I saw one of these typical roundups online, the 7 hottest pizzas in Chicago right now, and I disagree with most of them. I'm gonna do a pizza roundup called a Pizza Quest. It sounds great on paper. I'm gonna eat pizzas for 2 months, that's all I'm gonna eat. My family thought I was crazy. I was bringing pizzas home every night. I'm like, here, you gotta try this one. And I just wanted to have once and for all, have a complete, ultimate guide to Chicago pizza. No one had ever done it, which was unbelievable to me.
So coming to Chicago, I really just thought it was gonna be deep dish, so I'm kind of excited to try all these different styles of pizza.
Well, I commend you for getting outside of the downtown area, because everybody comes to Chicago, they spend all their time in a 6-block radius, and they eat deep dish and stuffed. And then you get out into the actual neighborhoods of Chicago, like you have, and you see the real pizza, which is tavern-style, thin, crispy crust, square cut. This is a very Chicago thing. It started working-class neighborhoods.
And it's like a finger food, right? It was meant to be at the bar, so you're drinking, and you could just pick it up and eat it quickly. So what is your #1 pick for tavern style thin?
Well, this is Vito and Nick's, and it is, true tavern style, Chicago legend. It's always on the top 5, top 10 list of anybody who does a pizza roundup in Chicago. Been here for 70+ years. Rose is still back in the kitchen almost every day. Ooh. All right, now we're talking.
That's perfect.
Thank you very much, Rose. Beautiful. Look at that sausage.
Sausage.
Oregano.
I love looking at these bubbles.
Yeah, just go for it.
Making me happy.
I like the end pieces. I like the little crispy on the end.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flavor in each one. There's just enough cheese.
Really nice thin crust, but it's really crispy and really holds up to the toppings on it.
Totally holds up to the toppings. Doesn't overwhelm it. I kind of can't stop eating it right now. Because I'm hungry.
I am too.
But it's really good. I haven't eaten this much since my quest, and so here I am at Vito and Nick's.
Oh, me and you are gonna crush this pot by the time this interview is done, that's for sure.
Yeah.
throw the boards. I can't catch
Do
it.
I get to give it a try?
Yeah, you can.
Hold on. Like
Hand
that?
out.
All
Hand
right,
out. You're going to
here,
catch it.
Catch
Oh.
it here.
All right, now I'm gonna hit you right in the hand.
All right.
Close it up.
Gotcha. Ooh, that was a toss. I like that, man. I like this kitchen.
As long as they hit you in the hand, you just catch it.
That was great. That was great. So what are we getting on this one?
Wait. You need an apron and a hat.
Okay,
You
okay,
can't be
sounds
on here
good.
without it. Now, I'm going to show you. 101 apron. Everybody gets this from me.
All right.
Okay? You
I'm
fold
ready.
it down once. You fold it down a second time.
Okay.
And then you roll it twice.
Wow.
And the key here is you take all the strings.
And tuck them right underneath.
Yeah, so it's nice and neat.
Wow. That was the most detailed apron setup I've ever seen.
This is the way I do mine. They do it differently, but I like doing it this way.
Okay.
Grandpa just had a tavern on the west side in 1920. And then the pizza began when my father came back from World War II.
Why then?
Well, my father had said to my grandmother, you know, telling her about this pizza, well, she's been making it different, thicker, rectangular, just
Right.
like you're used to
In
the
the pan.
Sicilian
Yeah.
pizza. So he decided to make it thin, and it's grown and grown and grown. Gonna make it?
Sure.
Small pieces, uniform. Make a cross. You have to push them in. Give me here. You want to kind of almost smash it so it stays in here. I mean, I've been here since they've opened. I've been working this over 60 years.
At the first place, when you guys first started making pizza and
Well,
you
I
started
was
getting
making pizza when I was very young. I
Right.
started cooking with my grandmother. I was like 5 or 6 years old.
So you do quite a bit of the cooking.
I do quite a bit.
And as
I
far as your
oversee making sure everything is done correctly. I'll go in the kitchen if they need help. Doesn't make a difference.
Wherever you gotta be, that's where you
what
go.
you do.
So you started with a little bit of cheese and you ended with a little bit of cheese.
And on the top, I sprinkle your oregano.
All right.
Give it a generous amount.
Generous amount, a little bit
That's
more than
fine.
that. Coming in,
Right there in the center.
right here.
Yep. Bang it on the counter. Then that tells them you're going to throw a board.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. What's your day-to-day like?
And I come down here, I start cooking.
What time do you wake up usually?
Well, today I started at 3. So I came down and I made bread pudding. I mean, I'll start things like that.
Come over here, let me give you a hug. So then you have to start your day, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll do dough or whatever has to be done.
So
Sauce.
you make the pizza dough.
Primarily, I do the dough a lot. This is the dough proofing.
Oh, wow.
And it's already been punched down several
Yep.
times.
Come back and punch it down every couple hours?
Yeah.
Wow,
Smell
look at all
the
those
yeast.
bubbles. I smell
This
it.
was made last night. You want to punch it?
Yeah.
Push it down hard. This will be gone by the end of the night. We make it every day. I make my own wine. Here.
So when you're not making pizza and you're not making bread pudding, you're making your wine?
Yeah, here's Muscat.
This is
I have
it?
an M. That's one. Take it.
Take it.
Take it. Enjoy.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun tonight, boys.
Yep.
You guys did it all, huh?
And we did. Everything.
The Sicilians, man, we're handy, huh? The bread pudding was delicious. The little icing on top. Mwah.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
Very much so. The south side of Chicago is associated with more of rougher neighborhoods, right? Working class.
North Side people, when they come in, you can pick them out
Yeah.
instantly. Just the way they look like the deer in the night.
That's a daring.
I mean, that's how it seems to me. They come in, I think, expecting something different.
Right.
I really do believe that.
Because you're on the tops of all the lists and everything, so they expect maybe like a really fancy place. They don't realize what this place is about family and character and
It's exactly
really
what
good
it is.
food.
We have families all the time in here. And I have seen 3 or 4 generations, maybe more. They feel like they're at home. And that's really true. It's a wonderful thing.
Steve also told me about another one of his favorite pizzerias, Freddies in Cicero, just 8 miles outside of the city. This place is run by Joe Quercia, and when I walked in, I felt right at home. The horns, Sicilian playing cards, all the stuff that Italian record stores have. I think me and Joe are gonna get along.
We're gonna see more stuff out.
Hey,
Come va?
Francesco, piacere.
Piacere mio.
This stuff all looks amazing. I mean, obviously you make it all fresh every day,
Every
right?
day, every day. And then we make our own homemade bread.
What do we have over here? This is something that's
This is timballo.
timballo,
Yeah, that's my version like we make in the South.
like a macaroni pie.
Correct. And of course, we put peas. In Naples, we
peas.
put a lot of peas.
Your story coming here to America and working at Freddies, where did it all
Well, it started, it was in 1968. I came here from Naples, and we lived in Cicero. At that time, I was about 13 years old. Somehow, my dad asked me if I could go with him to a store. Somehow, on the way back, we took a different direction. We got lost. So I just happened to see there was a sign outside that says Freddies Italian Lemonade. So I said, oh my God, somebody's got to speak Italian here to give us the right directions. So I walked in and I asked the man the directions, and plus I asked for the job. I worked for 5 years, and the place was up for sale. I just graduated from high school, and I put some money together.
So
and I
you were
bought
only
the place.
18, 19 years old?
I
when
was
you bought
19 years old when I bought it. This is my only job in this country.
it?
That was
Wow.
it.
And so were you the main pizza man back then?
Yes, I was making all the pizzas, and I still make some. This is we call it bakery style, Sicilian style.
Yeah,
So-
this
so
is like very much like a New York style Sicilian
Yeah.
pizza. How many different pizzas do you make here?
This is one. Then we have this one here. This is a round deep dish. Okay, this is with fresh sausage.
Wow.
No pre-cooked.
This is what I think of when I think of Chicago pizza.
Yes. This is we call the Chicago style. And we use the fresh sausage on top.
Now this is, to me, is a skill in it in itself, the way he's breaking up
Yeah.
the sausage, you know?
This is the margherita style.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, stretch it out. You know how to do it.
Oh, this dough feels good. He has the dough proofing, which I really like because it adds
Sponginess.
It adds a sponginess to it.
If you stretch it and you let it wait, like, even 10, 15 minutes, you make so much difference. Best thing is simplicity. It will be the dough, the fresh mozzarella, and the tomatoes. That's what makes it all together. Yeah.
This is
Okay.
my pizza. How did I do?
Good. Put a little basil on top. That's it. You want to have a slice now or later?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Oh, now you're talking my language. Fried calamari right on top of the pizza. Can we convince you to open up one of these in Brooklyn?
No, no. Did you ever think about put fried calamari on top?
No.
It's nice, delicious.
This is the best breakfast I've had all week. I really love your place because it's not your traditional pizzeria. You could come in and you could get something that is a restaurant quality dish. Or you could just have a simple slice of pizza.
It's not easy, but when you enjoy doing this, and of course at the end of the week it's rewarding. Why not? We have a great life. I have a great wife, and can't ask for more than that.
We met in 1978. I worked at a bank and it was real busy and I was a student. I just wanted to go home. And my mother turned the car around and said, I want one of those pizzas and we're going there. So I came in here to order a pizza. So then he started talking to me and the pizza was taking forever. And I was getting a little aggravated. So he said, do you have a boyfriend? I said, well, if you don't have a boyfriend, I want your phone number. I said, fine. Here's my phone number. Can I please have my pizza? I really have to go. Joe called me a week later. I think I called him John when he called. So I just said, look, I'm really busy. Don't really have time for anyone's BS. I said, oh no, let's just go out.
I took her to the Playboy Club. We had something to eat, we danced. We had an interesting evening.
We also take dancing lessons 3 times a week.
Oh, we do the cha-cha, the rumba, the tango, waltz, salsa. It's really interesting, really nice.
1, 2, 3, 1.
We tried bowling, and then Joe pulled his back, and I pulled my shoulder and my
Oh,
neck.
didn't work
So
out. If they get done working, you want to have a little recreation. You just don't want to go home, sit around, and so we figured dancing, which is nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, better. 10, 11, 12. More symmetrical, better design, better feel for the lady. Okay.
All right.
How are you guys?
Not your turn.
All right.
Frank needs a lesson.
You insist.
You never did this before?
First time.
Okay, this is the box step. The box step to me is probably the eighth wonder of the world. Let's say a step that becomes familiar throughout all dance. This is the step.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Where should I have my arms?
Just where you are. Hold my
Just
hand.
where they are right now.
Move
okay.
me backwards as you go forward.
Okay.
That boy.
Okay.
Go to the side, right over.
Right over.
To the side, right over. That's it. Good. Now we got it.
Okay.
I'm feeling terrific right now. I'm feeling like I'm starting to get it down. At first, a little stiff, but
Okay.
Vito's quite the pro.
First, another thing too, Frank. The shoes you're wearing. Mm-hmm. Gotta go.
Yeah,
They don't come
I got kitchen clogs on
Okay,
right
okay.
now.
Feel the shoe. Just feel it.
Wow.
Grab it. See?
Yeah.
Now that shoe is a part of my foot. You're
Right,
walking on an
right.
object.
Right.
May as well be like two by fours. You're walking on two
Should I just lose them? Go on my socks?
If you want to.
All right. Why not? Why not?
Now,
Gotcha.
here goes the box now. Walk. Here. Your ankles will call me. Everywhere you go, your ankles will call me. Good. Much better. We can push your hips down. Push them down and lift the weight right out of your middle. Right out of the middle. That's it. See there?
Not used to this pose.
Push the hips down.
All right.
That's it. Don't move. Give me your left hand, but keep the strength that you have in your right hand. Touch me with my body.
Okay.
Now, walk me with the box step. How's that?
Very nice.
Better?
Very nice. You are quite the teacher.
Practice with them more.
Yeah.
Do I have hope? I do?
Oh, yeah, he's got it. Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right. You can feel it in the
Yeah, oh,
aura?
yes.
This guy is a genius. I can't think of a better thing to do with an hour out of your day. Just kind of come down to the ballroom and do the cha-cha-cha. There's one guy in Chicago that's as legendary as his pizza. Bert Katz.
There you go. See how nice he is? His posture got better and everything. No, he's been eating too much pizza. He's starting to slouch. Sit straight like I told you. And
Look, these are my little friends
so I
that we.
tried them.
She didn't wear your hair today. What the hell?
I never fit in.
Bert and his wife Sharon opened Bert's Place in the 1980s. After 5 decades in the pizza game, Bert's hanging up his hat. I didn't get a chance to try Bert's pizza, but it didn't really matter. Spend a few hours with Bert was better than any pizza I could ever imagine.
It's all full of leaves now.
Love the outside, the dining tables.
They're not wrought iron, aluminum.
No kidding.
So they don't rust. You better believe it.
Oh, I
Why are you
thought
going to
those
get them
things are
every year? You got to scrape with a brush for crying out loud and paint them. To hell with that noise. See the sign? It's in perfect Latin. People used to say to me for years, "You must be Italian because you make good pizza." I got so damn sick and tired of hearing it. I had this sign made up. It says Jews make the best pizza.
There's no one like Bert Katz.
It's like this place is almost like a true expression of you.
Well, probably,
the place itself.
Yeah, I would say to a degree. I buy all this little stuff you see around here because I like it. The store seems so warm to people, like they're in somebody's house.
Yeah.
There's nothing pretentious. There's no baloney. I mean, it's honest.
You're responsible for 3 different pizzerias in Chicago.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I read about a place called Gulliver's.
I started there.
And is that where you first started developing your style?
Yeah, more so. After Gulliver's, then I opened up Pequod's. And we've been here 24 years in this store.
What is a Bert Katz pizza? How would you describe it?
You're asking Bert Katz, that's not fair. In regards to the common terminology of Chicago pizza, pan pizza, this stuff runs almost 2 inches thick. Mine is thinner, probably about half that size. The product that I've been making all these years is a matter of balance. The crust is dark and is nice and firm and kind of crispy, caramelized. You can actually see the air pockets in the dough, so it's a very light in texture.
All the years that you've been operating here in Chicago, do you think of yourself as a pizza legend? Because a lot of people do.
People put names on things. I don't look at it that way. I'm a pizza maker. I mean, that's all. I look at my customers. I want to keep them happy. I want to do right by them. People laugh at pizza. Well, you know what? You do it right, and let me tell you, You build up a following for years and years and years.
When I meet guys like you, I'm a young pizza owner, and it makes me feel like, wow, if I could be sort of half the guy that you are.
It makes you either happier, makes you smarter to get out of it while you can. There's two sides of the working coin. Just remember that. It really worked well for me. I'm very satisfied. We had a heck of a good run, and I'm content. I found my niche.
Seems like the American dream to me.
Or American nightmare. I mean, you know, dreams, nightmares, night hallucinations. I know it can be called a hell of a lot of things. It's all perspective. It's all perspective, let me tell you.
After meeting so many great people here, it's hard to believe that this is my first trip to Chicago. From deep dish to tavern-style thin, there are no fast and hard rules here when it comes to pizza. There's just one constant: the great people. These people are truly the salt of the earth.